Tonight, contractors in charge of the Olympic Stadium in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, have said that the project is going to be due 6 months to the official kickoff of the 2019 AFCON Games to be hosted by Cameroon. In this edition of the news, we hear from the organizing committee president as well as the various contractors in charge of the project ahead of the CAF inspection mission, which begins work across the national territory tomorrow. Also ahead, 6 out of 8 youths or 10 youths infected with HIV and AIDS in Cameroon are women. How to curb the prevalence rate of the disease is the purpose of the AIDS-free holidays, which was launched today across the national territory, barely 1 month to the official kickoff of the 2018-2019 school year in the country. Traders in Boya failed to open their shops this Monday as instructed by the mayor of the Boya municipality, Ekema Patrick Esunge. Business premises in Boya and other towns and villages in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon were closed this Monday. We shall be right back with the details. Stay with us. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back from the weekend. You are watching the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. Let's begin right away in sports. The president of the local organizing committee of projects to host the 2019 AFCON Games in the central region of Cameroon has expressed satisfaction over the progress made in the realization of the various projects to host the 2019 AFCON competition to be hosted by Cameroon. Nasere Paul Biawu doubles as governor of the central region of the country was speaking as the CAF inspection team prepares to begin supervising AFCON projects in Cameroon that is going to be as from tomorrow. The contractor at the Olympic Stadium has said that the project would be due 6 months before the start of the competition. It is coming to dispel allegations from online news sites in the country and beyond that the country was not going to or was going to be stripped of our rights to host the 2019 AFCON Games. The CAF inspection team would begin their inspection that is going to be tomorrow in the north region to look at housing facilities and other social amenities. The governor of the central region of Cameroon said that he is sure that the CAF inspection team is going to be satisfied. Let's hear him in the following, except he was speaking to Marcel Ngangso.
I think I wanted us to come to the field to be able to assess the level of advancement of work on the Olympic Stadium. And as we can see, all of us, that everything has changed. The presidential lounge, which was at just one level, is almost complete. The whole stadium, all the heavy works have been done. And now the roofing has started. And we think that by the time the mission comes, they will be satisfied. It is certain that at the end of this year, our stadium will be ready, and that we want Cameroonians to believe, as we are seeing, because you are there to show them that the work is going on, because all the heavy material, which was a fear of the inspection team, now the heavy materials are already available, and so we want to still push the Piccini group to continue working hard so that we don't have any mistakes and we don't have any delays.
That is the governor of the central region of Cameroon, Paul Nasere Biawu. Meantime, the contractor in charge of the Olympic Stadium in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, Pinsini Sam Tamin, said that he is sure to meet the deadline. He told reporters in the nation's capital today that he has 6 months to the start of the competition to deliver. Let's hear him in the following, except he was speaking to Marcel Ngangso.
The work in the Olympic Sports Complex has advanced a lot over the last period and will continue to advance, and it will be completed. Let's say the works necessary for the hosting of the African Cup of Nations in 2019 in Cameroon will be completed end of this year, 6 months before the competition. As you can see in your cameras, the main structural work is completed. We have started with the roof works, both in assembly and installation. Behind me you could see a lot of assembled roof elements, 2 of which will be lifted tomorrow. 1 was lifted yesterday. and within a month this roof structure should be fully installed, followed by the installation of the roof covering. Apart from this, the electromechanical works, both in the infrastructure side, outside, have significantly advanced. The rest of the electromechanical works in the interiors have also advanced well. We are planning to start the finishing work by the first week of September. We're also on course to start with the facade works to close the buildings where the facade is closed, starting from the first week of September. In general, everything is advancing. People are working day and night as they have always been doing. And there are no issues with material, and there are no issues with equipment or personnel.
And members of the CAF delegation are already in Cameroon. They arrived today. It should be noted that it is going to be the third time that they are inspecting sports facilities and other infrastructures to host the 2019 AFCON Games in the country. On to something else, we continue in sports. The senior men's football team, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, since Saturday have new managers. Clarence Seedorf and Patrick Kluivert were appointed by the joint effort of officials of the Cameroonian Football Federation, FECAFOOT, and the Sports and Physical Education Ministry. Who are the trainers in the world of football and what has been their journey so far? Samanji Kangebre provides an answer in the following report.
It will be their first time to handle a national football team since they began their coaching career. The head coach of the national football team, Clarence Clyde Seedorf, before being appointed as the head coach of Cameroon, has been coach to AC Milan in 2011. In 2015, he was head coach of Deportivo La Corona of La Liga in Spain. In 2016, Seedorf managed a Chinese outfit, Shenzhen FC, before moving to Atlético Paranaense in Brazil in 2017, from where he was appointed head coach to the reigning African champions. As a player, Seedorf spent his football career between his native Netherlands, Italy, and Brazil. His assistant, Patrick Stefan Kluivert, as a player, had stints in Netherlands, England, Italy, Spain, and France. It wouldn't be Kluivert's first time of serving as an assistant trainer, as he has done that with AZ Alkmaar, NEC, Jong FC 20, all of Netherlands. Kluivert's best achievement as an assistant coach was the third place position he won at the side of Louis van Gaal at the FIFA 2014 World Cup hosted by Brazil. Patrick Kluivert's first experience as a head coach was when he managed Curaçao national team for the qualifiers of the FIFA World Cup in Russia. He also served as the director of football for Paris Saint-Germain in France. Coincidentally, Seedorf and Kluivert are age mates, 42 years of age, but certainly the task for both Dutch men is to retain the African Nations Cup that Cameroon won in Gabon when they will be hosting in 2019.
And hoping that the national football team is going to make some strides during the 2019 AFCON Games. On to something else. The prevalence rate of HIV in Cameroon is extremely high amongst youths between the ages of 15 to 25, despite what medics have so far described as significant drop in the number of infected persons. 75 peer educators have so far been trained in the littoral region of Cameroon to sensitize youths on some of the preventive measures of the disease, but the number is extremely low compared to the targeted population in the entire region. Details in this report. The prevalence rate of HIV infection in Cameroon has dropped from 4.3 to 3.4%. But the growing number of youths exposed to the disease is still a major preoccupation to officials at the National AIDS Control Commission in the littoral region of Cameroon. Statistics have revealed that young boys and girls between the ages of 15 to 24 are being diagnosed of HIV daily, with women the most affected.
Le taux de séroprévalence est passé de 4,3 au niveau national à 3,4 à ce jour.
Out of the 10 HIV-infected cases amongst youths, we realize that at least 6 women are infected. We think that the AIDS-free campaign would go a long way to reverse the trend.
Et les jeunes filles sont les plus vulnérables. La 16e édition de la campagne Vacances sans sida a commencé.
The AIDS-free holiday campaign program is now in its 16th edition in Cameroon. The exercise, to the surprise of many observers, is being launched less than 1 month to back to school. Some 27 peer educators with defined objectives have been set aside to mobilize, train and sensitize 35,000 young girls and 27,000 young boys on how to avoid the spread of HIV and the necessity to go for AIDS screening.
Practically what has been done so far is that 75 lecturers have been formed in order to go throughout the region and sensitize all the youth. Intermediate objectives have been selected for them. We have some figures. They have the target to sensitize 35,000 young women, that is the young girl, and 25,000 young men. But well, this is the objective concerning just the youth. We can say that the rest of the population has not been kept aside. They are also part of the fight. And what we hope is that this campaign that has been launched should immediately start, and that we should have the results very soon.
Would the 75,000 shortlisted peer educators be able to sensitize 62,000 youths and the entire population in the region during this edition? That remains the question.
The campaign today is already, I think, the 16th. Yes, the 16th campaign. So it's at least already for 16 years that the fight is going on without any rupture. We can say with accuracy that the rate of contamination have been reducing, but we will not rely and we will not relent our effort, because this reduction actually is very dynamic. This year it can be less in the region, but the following year it can be higher. So that is why the fight has to be permanent.
As the AIDS-free holiday campaign initiative enters its 16th edition, officials have, however, expressed satisfaction over their balance sheet. On to something else. Wututu, an administrative unit between Boya, Limbe, in Fako division of the southwest region of Cameroon, is now deserted following hours of gunshots between security forces and pro-independence fighters. The prolonged gunfight started yesterday and continued this Monday, forcing locals out of their homes. Some of the frightened local inhabitants are currently seeking refuge in Maiwan amidst reports that some youths were arrested. Elements of the National Defense Forces have been patrolling the town to guarantee the safety of the population and their goods, although the town of Limbe has been void of traders and transporters since the early hours of this morning. In Boya, business persons remained indoors despite the injunction that was given by the mayor of the municipality for them to open their shops or have them sealed. Gunshots in Munya area and other parts of Boya kept locals indoors, according to our correspondents on the ground. Streets and roads in Mutengene, Bamenda, Kumbo, Kumba, and other major cities and villages were equally deserted today in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. Meantime, the search for the missing duo for Menjum Valley in the northwest region of the country is still ongoing. Amidst reports that he has been found, we are yet to confirm the veracity of that information. Mr. Derek Nwanjo Lokombe was reportedly picked up on Saturday by some yet to be identified individuals. The government is yet to react on the situation. And just to note as well that we are equally having reports in Boya that the mayor of the Boya municipality is currently carrying out tough measures with regards to those who respected the ghost town in the town of Boya today. Now, like in every crisis situation, women and children have been the most affected since the Anglophone crisis escalated. 3/4 of those in bushes, those internally displaced, and those seeking refuge in neighboring Nigeria are women. It should be noted the government has time and again insisted that the presence of security forces in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon is to guarantee the safety of the population, including women, but many have continued to flee. A peace-building expert from Central African Republic has so far urged the government of Cameroon to avoid the situation that is unfolding in our country. She was speaking recently in Boya. Derek Jato has that special story.
Since the escalation of the Anglophone crisis late 2016, women in the northwest and southwest regions say these 2 years have been their worst moment, and the horrific memories are still living with them.
Then the army came in. They came in shooting. They don't ask anything. They just came in shooting. And us as border was substitute to cross over.
With a fragile and complex biological system, women present in bushes have tears-triggered testimonies.
As you dey so, when you dey for your period.
We use strip bags to pat ourselves during menstruation. This lady demonstrate.
Now you me soap today. We outside room before I dey work money. I no get place for buyer. Now I dey use her. For 5 months I dey bush.
Here, sanitation is a forgotten issue, as they are all living at the mercy of nature.
The king of tree.
Most of them now are widows, just like spouses of military forces. Even in Nigeria, from Amana to Biajwa, Danari to Ekom, most refugees here are women, and some say their husbands and fathers send them ahead and promise to follow them the next day, and they have been waiting for their loved ones and breadwinners of their families for months now. In terms of numbers, women are more than men, but very little is being heard from them in this crisis. In most meetings, they are relegated at the back by the men.
As women as our mothers, women as our wives, women as our sisters, they have a lot of quality. And if we exploit this quality, it can help us in order to achieve a lasting solution to this issue.
And the international body has noticed this situation. And to get involved, the first annual African Women Solidarity Peace Forum was organized in Boya recently. And women drawn from the northwest and southwest regions told their foreign conflict resolution experts that their men have failed them and they want the way out of this crisis.
The men actually have failed us, and in every aspect we the women are the ones suffering, because the children, the men that have been killed are children. We have no pleasure as women to see those we bore in our wombs for 9 months dying, be it the military or be it whosoever. They are our children. Cameroon can only forge ahead when there is peace, there is love, and there is harmony. We've learned so much how women can come together, bring in the community together, bring in their children, and how they can talk to their husbands.
During their interventions, these foreign trainers, most of them women, proposed a way forward to solve the now deepening Anglophone crisis.
My name is Kumba Touré. I'm an African. I come from Mali and Senegal. The way forward is what we are looking for. And the first step to a way forward is to connect with each other, is to sit down with each other, is to talk to each other, whoever we are, from wherever we are. Because if that space is not there, nothing can change. But when that space is there, everything can change.
My name is Marita Nabarema, and I am from Togo. I work at the African Rising Movement. Listening to these women share their own experiences with us basically made us realize that the problem is way deeper than we actually think it is. And one thing I told these women, they have to be able to participate fully into engaging the political spaces and the different stakeholders and find a long-term solution to the crisis. I think that
and Ms. Casey Martin Ekomo, a peace-building expert from the Central African Republic, cautioned the Cameroon government to rescue its country, lest it will get to the level of what her country, the Central African Republic, is going through.
I'm from the Central African Republic, and you may know that we are killing each other for 5 years now. I think that the situation the Cameroonians are facing now is similar to what we faced a few years ago. So I know what can happen after that if no one starts to do something, and I don't want it to happen, because Cameroon is one of the most stable countries in all those sub-region, and I think it's important for the Cameroonian people to be engaged and to start now to be engaged.
At the moment, Tension is still very high in the northwest and southwest regions, with all activities grounded every Mondays in these two regions.
The Rijato, the reporting. Thank you for the report. As we heard, women have to make their voices heard. It was during that seminar organized by the Center for Human Rights and Democracy in Africa. Now, we talk about the 2018 presidential election in Cameroon ahead of the October 7 polls. The Social Democratic Front is now mapping out strategies for victory. Besides fighting to ensure a hitch-free and fair election in Cameroon, the party is initiating the recruitment of volunteers to campaign for the flag bearer of the Social Democratic Front Party. The information was made public during a meeting of ESCO members of the Social Democratic Front, which took place in the city of Douala. That was at the weekend. Details with Informe Armstrong Sanders.
As part of the winning strategies ahead of the October 7 presidential election, the Social Democratic Front Party is recruiting volunteers to campaign for their flag bearer, Honorable O.C. Joshua, an initiative of the presidential candidate himself, which the party believes will go a long way to correct the errors of the past and ensure victory come October 7.
The volunteers that are ready to work for our brother candidate of Joshua, they can help him to make the badges, to put out the affiches. Yes, they will help him to put the badges, to help him to go out for the campaign, for the different meetings, the different associations, to inform them that we were waiting for a new leader, a youth, a young leader to work for this country, because we are already tired of those who are getting for 80 years, 90.
The forms which candidates are expected to fill were presented to SDF militants and the Littoral Regional Executive members of the party in Douala yesterday. The militants were gathered at the Douala 3 Council Hall for an extraordinary meeting of the party's Regional Executive Committee for the Littoral. The extraordinary meeting had as focus the upcoming presidential election. The ESCO members discussed and strategized on the evolution of the electoral process, identification and listing of polling stations in unauthorized places within the region, distribution of voters' cards, and funding the presidential election campaign, among others.
Inside here you are hearing the number of polling stations that they have had of what was at the past. They have had so many polling stations, and those volunteers now do come in and help us to cover all those polling stations, because we cannot play with no polling station now, because time is not what it was at.
According to Carlos Ngwalem, Deputy Mayor of Douala 5 Council, 3 polling stations in that subdivision are located in unauthorized places. They are in the traditional chiefs' palaces of Ngombe, Ndogbet and Bonabiake villages. The Social Democratic Front Party in the Littoral region also highlighted that voters' cards of potential voters who registered this 2018 are not yet available. Women of the SDF who believe the party has given a lot to them are not silent about devising winning strategies.
I've never seen a party where they honor women as they honor in the SDF. The women are fighting, that is how the women are equally fighting outside. People, we talk to people. Maybe you can see somebody that doesn't have any idea about political career in Cameroon. We bring the person to know how politics is, how this SDF function.
The SDF extraordinary meeting chaired by the Littoral Regional President of the party, Honorable Jean-Michel Ninchu, ended with the collection of close to 10 million francs CFA to finance the party's presidential election campaign.
And just to note after the report there by Informe Armstrong Sanders that elections Cameroon, Elecam has 1 day just to publish the final list of candidates or political parties to run for the presidential election in Cameroon. On to something else. In school curricula, the subject mathematics is considered as one of the key subjects for brain development and competence of the learners. It has been observed that the subject, as essential as it is posing challenges to school children as many perform poorly in it. In the following reporter in Bamenda Northwest region of Cameroon, Stella is going to be probing into the matter as well as the various proposals of educationists. Her report.
Mathematics is essential as it forms the basis for correct thoughts, words, and needs in daily life. Academicians have understood the importance of the subject, reason why mathematics is a compulsory subject that runs through the basic and the first cycle of secondary education in Cameroon. It appears that lesser than a greater proportion of learners perform overall poorly in the subject. For example, the national statistics for the 2018 performance of students at the ordinary level in mathematics indicates that out of 70,303 candidates who registered for the subject, 68,229 wrote the examination, 20,283 passed, meanwhile 47,946 failed, giving a percentage performance of less than 30. Talking to some inhabitants in Bamenda, they have accused their teachers for the dislike of the subject and the poor performances.
My teacher was boring. Most of the times we enter the class and he'll start teaching from something we don't even understand teaching. Most of us, we sleep, and then he'll never bother to wake us up that do this or give assignments or check on it or beat us or follow us up to find out if we're actually improving in mathematics or not.
My teachers, the people who took me in maths, were not that serious, so it made me to hate maths.
Although the teachers have been blamed, experts reveal that the students' lack of interest in the subject and the failure to acquire textbooks also accounts for the poor performances. However complex the subject may seem to some people, others have cherished the subject and can testify the importance.
Since I always wish to do engineering, it has really helped me even at the university level, because you cannot do engineering without mathematics, so mathematics is really interesting and it's really nice.
A part of its importance in daily life, experts say the economy of Cameroon will improve if mathematics is given the significance it deserves.
The advice I want to give to government is they should actually go into putting their policies into practice, because they are talking competency based. But what I see on book lists are not books which are competency-based books. So I am like telling the government to actually go into books that people are writing and extract those books that are competency-based.
However the situation may appear, it can be drawn that the teaching and learning process of mathematics requires some revision for an uplift in the subject's output. Mathematics is important, and its significance cannot be underemphasized.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television. Viewers, so thank you so much for joining us. Wishing you a blessed stay in the company of our programs. Until we meet again, goodbye.